In Phase 3, we're going to talk about what to do after you launch your book high into the Amazon algorithms. I want to stop for a minute and talk about the big picture. This information has been structured around writing digital books and publishing them on Amazon. Now, of course, there are many other choices for publishing your book and ways to get it or them in front of readers. And there's nothing wrong with those other choices, be it one of the other retailers like Nook, Kobo, Barnes & Noble, or iTunes, or creating a softcover copy on CreateSpace. And audiobooks are getting a foothold in the marketplace as well. It's just that when it comes to digital, done right, you'll sell a ton more books on Amazon than you will on the other retailers, for reasons I'll get to in a minute. The paperback and audio option have a rather high cost of entry, so although you can increase your ROI, you can also spend a lot of money and not get it back, at least not right away. For these reasons, I've chosen and recommend that you choose to publish on Amazon exclusively. This may be a bit controversial. People say, what if Amazon changes everything and you can no longer be successful there? Well, A, they change things constantly anyway, and they're still the place to be. And all you have to do is stay aware of what's going on and stay flexible. And B, yes, their number one priority is to make money for Amazon. But they can't do that unless they have a bunch of successful authors. So just figure out what it takes to be a successful author, and it should be a mutually beneficial partnership for years to come. There are two main reasons why Amazon is so good at selling books. The first is that they are not your normal everyday garden variety search engine. The only other site I can think of that is in their league when it comes to what Chris Fox in his great series of books on self-publishing calls machine learning is Facebook. These two sites, Amazon and Facebook, know more about you and your likes, dislikes, preferences, and buying habits than you would probably even realize or be comfortable with. It's actually a little creepy when you think about it, and it's only going to get worse. Or better, depending on how you look at it. You see, the thing you can do with Amazon that you can't do with any of the other retailers, yet anyway, is teach it who to market your books to. If you go through the system we've just gone over in this video series and you keep in mind some of the things that we're going to cover here in a minute, you will effectively be building an audience that Amazon can use to target their marketing to. And again, they are better at this than any other book retailer on the planet. Having said that, you will notice, and if you've been writing and publishing on Amazon for any length of time, you have already experienced the 30 and 60-day cliffs. No matter how well you launch your book, it will, somewhere between 30 and 60 days, begin to slowly, or not so slowly, depending on a bunch of different factors, fade into oblivion. As we've discussed earlier, when Amazon realizes that your book is selling, they will grab it and run with it, putting it in all sorts of hot new releases and also bot sections. They'll even send emails out to their millions of customers promoting your book. This is huge and can propel your book into bestseller status almost overnight. But, and this is a big but, they will only do this for a period of time. Amazon, just like all book retailers, digital or brick and mortar, has a voracious appetite for new and fresh content. Every book has a shelf life, some longer than others, but unless you write a classic, which very few of us are going to do, let's face it, your book will only sell well for a period of time. Amazon understands this and builds a sort of planned obsolescence into their algorithms. I promised going into this workshop that I'd explain how to avoid this unfortunate fact of life. Well, the fact is that there is no getting around the way Amazon has set up their algorithms. But what we can do is understand them as best we can and use them to our advantage. One of the best ways to do this is to write books in a series. By doing this, you will accomplish several things. First, you will build your brand. I recommend not only writing several books in a series, at least 3, but writing several series within a genre. This will not only increase your read-through and sell-through rates, and by that I mean that hopefully, if you can get a reader into your first book in a series, they will fall in love with your writing and be compelled to purchase the next book when you publish it, and the next after that. But this will also help to train Amazon who to market the books to. Everything you do should be calculated to build your brand while selling your latest book. This is a marathon, not a sprint. By writing in a series and stacking one series onto the next within a genre, you'll usually sell more books next month than you did this month. And you'll definitely sell more books next year than you will this year. The highly successful authors that I know who are making 6 figures a year and above are all writing in series, as well as churning out a minimum of 6 books a year. Some are doing more like 8 or 10. You need to be very careful and conscious about what genre you pick to write in, because what you don't want to do is genre hop. If you do, this will confuse Amazon about who you are and who your target reader is, and it won't know who to put your next book in front of. What we want to do at all costs is avoid a confused Amazon robot. So, if you're unsure about what type of book you want to write and what genre truly interests you, stop. Do some research and take some time to decide where you want to be. To be successful, you're going to be spending a lot of time with whatever characters and worlds you create. If you become sick of them easily, this whole writing thing could turn into a living hell for you. In other words, pick a brand and write only things that reinforce that brand. If you do want to switch genres, well, fine, but probably best to use a pen name and start from scratch to build that brand. This is very doable. I know several authors who write in multiple genres. They are just very careful not to cross-pollinate their audiences and confuse the almighty Amazon robots. Okay, so you've launched your book. It's sold pretty well for about 45 days now, and you're starting to notice that it's slipping in the rankings. The first thing to do is not panic. Understand that this is normal. By this time, you are getting ready to launch your next book in the series anyway, or your first book in the next similar series in your genre, right? Be that as it may, you'd like to see if you can keep your current book selling as well and as long as possible. The way to do that is through advertising and relaunching. You can, if you like, try to price pulse the book while it's on its way down. By this, I mean running a KDP Select countdown deal and drop the price to 99 cents and list the book on a few promo sites. It's been my experience that this only gives a brief blip to the sales ranking, and it's not really worth the effort and expense. Better to see if you can run some consistent advertising and prop up your whole catalog. Understand, when talking about advertising, that if you've got a series of books, it makes sense to look at the ROI from the whole series rather than just one book, keeping in mind that some percentage of readers will buy more than one book and some will buy all of them. At some point, it may or may not make sense to relaunch the whole catalog one book at a time. You must be very careful about this and only spend the time and money to relaunch if you're sure you can get the money back and have it be worth your time and effort. It may be a better use of your time to simply write another series in the same genre. But first, let's take a look at advertising. The most common type of advertising is, of course, Facebook. This is another area where you need to be very careful. Facebook is going to be more than happy to drain your bank account and not produce any or very little results. It can also be very successful, but you'll need to approach it as if petting a porcupine. In other words, start slow and proceed with caution. Facebook advertising is a huge and very complicated topic that I don't have time and depth to go into fully in this brief workshop. One of my partners and I will be coming out with a full-on course and even a done-for-you, or more aptly, done-with-you service in the next month or two. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Right now, just understand that you can use the people you have attracted to your email list that we helped you build in the earlier videos and build lookalike audiences on Facebook. You'll be able to place a Facebook pixel on the sales page that we had you build that will not only give you a ton of data about how your book is selling, but it'll also allow Facebook to keep track of the kinds of readers who are purchasing your book and build audiences that match those people. By utilizing Facebook properly, you are able to, in your own way, target prospective readers similarly to the way Amazon does with their algorithms. Approached with stealth and lots of testing and refining, it's possible to put together a campaign that will give you a very good ROI. The other advertising option that can make sense is AMS. This is Amazon's proprietary ad service. Once again, approached with caution and optimized properly, AMS can produce a decent ROI relatively quickly. AMS is easy to get up and running. Simply log into your Amazon account and navigate to the Amazon Marketing Services webpage. Here's the URL. Once there, you'll be able to begin advertising your books by simply choosing them from your Amazon catalog. There are two types of campaigns to choose from when launching an AMS ad campaign. You can go with sponsored products or product display ad campaigns. I would suggest, especially if you're new to AMS, that you stick with the sponsored products type of campaign. It has consistently gotten us better results than the product display type of ad and is easier and simpler to set up. Once you choose your campaign type and the book you want to advertise, you'll need to load keywords into the system. Amazon will give you a list of keywords based on the keywords listed on your book page and what the people who bought your book already have searched for. But you want to add a bunch more keywords into the system to test and then optimize. The best way to do this is to go search for similar books in your genre on Amazon and look at their title and book blurbs. There are also several good keyword tools out there if you feel like spending a little money to help you with this aspect. I have used Merchant Words and also Kindle Samurai and Kindle Spy with good results. Just Google any of those and you'll find them. They're pretty easy to find. They range from about $35 to around $75. The more keywords you can load into the system to start with, the better. Try and keep them relatively short tail and targeted. I know people who try to input as many as 1,000 keywords into a book ad campaign to start with. Start with a somewhat higher bid price, like say 50 cents, and a daily budget of maybe $20, and then launch the campaign. Now, the problem with AMS is that they have terrible reporting. You would think a mega company like Amazon would have a better way. But this is really the Achilles heel of the AMS system. The sales analytics will lag a good 48 hours behind what's really happening. This makes it hard to adjust on the fly. But it is what it is, and the AMS system can still get you some very profitable ads. What you want to do is run the ads for about 2 or 3 days and see where you get. Again, keeping in mind that your data is going to take a couple of days to show up. The analytic to focus on is the ACOS percentage. This is the calculated percentage of sales versus ad spend. The lower you can get this number, the better your ad is doing. Here's a screenshot of a few campaigns I ran a while back. As you can see, several of the ads have very high ACOS numbers, but the one has a very good number. It's the one, the Joy of Less box set. There I've got the blue arrow pointing to it, and you can see the ACOS number is 29.27%, and that is awesome. You want to look at probably anywhere between 30 and say 75% for your ACOS number. So the thing to do is keep an eye on the campaign over a week or two and let the numbers even out, and then go in and eliminate the keywords that are not providing a good ACOS number. And by good, I mean something less than 75%. By the end of the second week or so, you should have a fully optimized campaign and have multiple keywords showing a positive ACOS percentage. By keeping an eye on the campaign over time and continuing to optimize, it's not hard at all to sell books at a positive ROI using this system. Eventually, no matter what you're doing, your books will begin to fade. At this point, it may become necessary to relaunch your series. Or maybe not. This is a decision you'll have to make based on the time and expense it will take to optimize your catalog. You'll need to take a good hard look at the series and decide whether it's worth it to relaunch or whether it's a better use of time and resources to simply write a new series. Does your book need a new cover? Can you rewrite and energize the book blurb? Does it need to be rewritten, updated, and expanded? These are all questions only you can answer after fully understanding how the book did on its original launch and how much time, effort, and expense it will take to get it ready to relaunch. Assuming you've decided that it is worth the time, expense, and headache of retooling and optimizing, you'll then need to relaunch. This is done very similarly to the way we had you launch in the first place. Only instead of a pre-sale campaign, you'll run a special relaunch campaign. I run these at full price because at this point we're not focused on Amazon rank, we're just focused on book sales. So utilize the same type of sales page that we had you use for your launch. Only this time we're going to promote it as a relaunch, and if they buy the book during the relaunch period, say the next week or 2 weeks, they'll get the bonus goodies and have them do the same drill of sending you the Amazon receipt. Then, make a concerted push to reach out to other authors in the genre just like before, and get on the podcasts, write guest posts, maybe run a couple of contests and promote the relaunch to them, and of course run Facebook ads. You won't end up on the hot new releases list, but it's very possible to breathe new life into your catalog with this type of relaunch. Well, that's it for now. I hope you've enjoyed this material here. I know you'll have questions, so feel free to contact me, and I'll do my best to answer them. I'm also available for paid consulting on a case-by-case basis. If you'd like to talk, my contact info will be at the bottom of this page. Okay, good luck, keep writing, and we'll talk soon.